Everybody, welcome back to Flag/Fan Friday. Hope you liked the Portugal episode. This is going to be a good one. So as you know, there's a part where we talk about the small mistakes or the things that we didn't talk about in the episode. For one, I said Spain surrounds on 3 sides. Technically, it's 2. But I mean, come on. They have a lot of weird edges, so you could kind of make like 3 sides, whatever. Anyway, me justifying my idiocy. I also said Portugal follows the UTC +1 zone, when actually it's UTC 0, but during daylight savings, technically it is UTC +1. So the second and third largest cities are basically just Porto and Faro. Sintra is just kind of like the greater metropolitan Lisbon area, and Vila Nova de Gaia is basically just the Porto area. Also, many people dispute the origins of the word arigato. The Portuguese will say that it came from Portuguese, but it's not completely confirmed, but many will say it's not. When I forgot to mention the name of the art teacher guy who bought that micronation. The animation with the Portuguese colonies thing, it wasn't exactly quite accurate in the Asia part, because when animating, we tried to just kind of overlay this image over this one, and it didn't quite work out very well. So it looked like the Portuguese had colonies in like Bhutan and Laos. But hey, at least we got Brazil, Angola, and Mozambique right. And Edgar Moniz was a Nobel Prize winner, but he kind of got it for inventing the lobotomy, which is not very commendable. There was a bunch of other phrases that you guys wanted me to use to describe the Portuguese people. We didn't really talk too much about how the southern part was actually conquered by the north part, and we kind of forgot to mention that the country was under the Habsburgs for a little bit. Pretty sure there's a ton of other things we could have mentioned or that we forgot. If you know of anything, put it in the comments. Otherwise, we gotta move on. So, without further ado... Dude, the Portugal episode was so fun, and I'm so glad that I actually got to go there with my mom. We got to see a lot of cool things, and we got to meet a lot of you guys, the Portuguese geography peeps. Lisbon is such a beautiful city, so many things going on, and I love that monument of discovery. So anyway, the flag. The flag of Portugal is a bicolor of unequal green and red stripes, the larger one being red on the right, with a simplified variant of the coat of arms in between them. We'll talk about this later. These colors represent the Portuguese Republican Party that broke away from the kingdom years during the Republican Revolution of 1910. It is said that the green represents the hope of the nation, and you can probably guess what the red stands for? Thank you, Jared, for making that animation. How appropriate that I'm wearing this shirt. And oh, by the way, we have an updated version of the Blood of Those Who Fight for the Freedom shirt on geographynow.com. Get your blood shirts right now, if you want. I'm not gonna force you, but I'm just saying they're cool. Anyway, keep in mind, originally, Portugal's flag actually kind of looked like the flag of Finland. It was a blue cross on a white field, and then they added a bunch of other things like a crown and blah, blah, blah. But basically, the reason why it looks like this now is because when Portugal became a republic, they kind of wanted to scrap anything that reminded them of the royal family, and then they added a few other cool things, which brings us to the coat of arms. The coat of arms is an image surrounded on the edges by golden olive branches. In the center lies a shield with another shield and 5 smaller shields in it. In the outer border of the shield, you have the 7 castles that represent the 7 fortresses that were conquered during the conquest of the southern part of Portugal. On the interior of the shield, you have a white field with 5 smaller blue shields with 5 small dots inside each of the blue shields. The disposition of these smaller shields is associated with the cross of Christ. There are no official statements from the government, but the most popular explanations usually state that the 5 dots represent the 5 wounds of Christ, and the 5 shields represent the 5 Moorish kings that were defeated during the time of King Alfonso. Some also say that it could also stand for the pieces of silver that Jesus was sold for from Judas Iscariot, but again, no official statement has been released. Behind the shield is the armillary sphere. This was actually created by Templars, and it was introduced in 1860 by King John VI. And it's a nautical instrument used by sailors to navigate celestial objects from Earth's point of view while traveling, hence alluding to the nautical culture of Portugal. Throughout the years, this coat of arms has actually kind of been like a consistent image of symbolism for Portugal. The only thing is, during the kingdom years, it used to have like a crown over it, but then during the Republican years, they took off the crown. Alright, so that's just about it.